What's up, everybody? I am Jesse, or Game Over Jesse as some of you all may know me, and today I have ZeldaMaster Luke with me, our special guest, and as always, of course, we have Daniel, who some of you all may know as King Bergerson from the Discord chat. So for those who, for some odd reason, may not exactly know who you are, Luke, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Okay, I'm ZeldaMaster. My real name is Luke, and I do YouTube videos. I've been doing them for over 5 years. Mainly like Zelda Let's Plays, where I go through a Zelda game and 100% it. All recorded, uploaded live, or not live, but just uploaded on YouTube. That's pretty much what I've been doing. But I'm trying to like do other things, mainly Zelda related, because it's pretty much my favorite franchise. That's why it's my name. But yeah, it's pretty much what I've been doing. I haven't really thought too much about it, but it's just kind of like whatever videos I feel like making, I do, and mainly it's been Let's Plays, so that's why I've been doing them for so long.
With the recent release of Breath of the Wild, how has the response been on your channel? Because before that, we hadn't had a major release for like 5 or 6 years. So.
Yeah, pretty much since I started YouTube, the only major release was Skyward Sword, and I didn't really do that on release. I couldn't. I was much younger, you know, living with my family. I actually was using my mom's laptop to do Let's Plays back then, and I had to record it at night when everyone was asleep. So I couldn't do things the way I do it now. When Breath of the Wild came out, I was actually lucky to get an early copy from Nintendo 2 days early and just, you know, start ahead. And yeah, Breath of the Wild was probably the first game I kind of did immediately, and it was extremely fun to like play a game that was so new, a new Zelda game especially, and do what I've been doing for so long, like a Let's Play. It's probably the most fun I've had doing a Let's Play.
Because previously, you had to go back to games that came out like 5-10 years ago, like Ocarina of
they were
Time,
all
Majora's
childhood / nostalgic games. Like, yeah, every single game except Skyward Sword, and I guess you could say Triforce Heroes, but you know, not many people are fond of that game, so yeah, it depends.
And with Triforce Heroes, that must have been difficult as well, since a lot of people have to play it multiplayer with online.
I actually got lucky because 2 of my roommates who are also YouTubers, well, one of them moved out, but there are 2 YouTubers who were just able to immediately record with me and play it. I just realized also Link Between Worlds came out, a bunch of HD remakes. Just pointing that out before anybody else does. Like I did, because I played them all on the channel, but you know, none of them were as impactful as I guess Skyward Sword and Breath of the Wild, because those are the home console Zelda games that have, you know, an insane story that aren't really rehashes of other Zelda games, like A Link Between Worlds, which is similar to Link to the Past, and you know, Triforce Heroes is actually on the exact same engine too.
Yeah. So with your Let's Plays, are there any in particular that you're the most proud of, that you look back on as like, wow, this wasn't just fun for me to do, but it actually turned out really well compared to other people's Let's Plays that you could find?
I feel like it's to each their own. Like for me, I like someone who is really into the game, and that's why I do my videos like that. But there are tons of other Let's Players out there who, you know, usually talk about other things, kind of treat the game like a background and the audio as a podcast, which is also interesting. But for me, I'd say I'm more in it to like focus Let's Plays, but the only Let's Play I kind of branched out and kind of did something else was my Wind Waker HD for, I want to say, the 3rd time LP, because I've done that quite a bit, but I was really happy with that one because I was just kind of messing around with like editing, adding laugh tracks, just doing stuff like that. I really want to do more videos like that, but they just take a lot longer to edit because I actually have to watch through it after I record it. Which, I'll be honest, if you're a Let's Player, you probably never do that. You never rewatch your video, especially when you record so much. So that was like an LP I'm pretty happy with that I want to make more of, but I don't see myself really doing because it's very time consuming.
Yeah. And with the exact opposite of that question, is there a Let's Play or a game that you would like to go back and redo?
Oh man, all the time. That's why I'm constantly redoing LPs. I was really young when I started YouTube, so I had horrible quality. I was nervous in front of the microphone, all of that, and it's like that's why I constantly redo Let's Plays. I say the one right now that I'm not too proud of is maybe A Link to the Past. I was 17 then. It's so strange how like every year I look back at my older videos, I'm like, I want to redo them all again. But hopefully, I feel like now I've reached a point where I'm kind of happy with my work, but we'll see. Maybe in a couple of years I'm going to feel the same thing and just constantly want to update it. But I'm trying to not do that as often. But yeah, the answer would be a Link to the Past.
Right.
Or, yeah, because I've redone everything else, pretty much.
Alright, and Daniel, I've been kind of hogging Luke here for a bit.
No,
so
no
do
worries.
do you have any of your own questions that you think the people might want to know?
Well, I guess since you've wrapped up with Breath of the Wild, right? What's next? I mean, you've done in the past those like fan remakes or ROM hacks and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, yeah. Those
Anything
are
else
really
like that
fun.
in the future, or?
If there aren't any ones completed, thing is there's so many that get started and just either Nintendo gives them a cease and desist. Like that's happened a lot actually. There's one I was backing. It was gonna be a Link's Awakening Ocarina of Time remake. It was gonna be pretty much on Ocarina of Time's engine. Yeah, that one was. I don't know if it's still happening, but either way, it's been slowed down completely because of Nintendo, and I wish there was more because I would totally love to support anyone who wants to recreate or do something like that to a Zelda game, but sadly there aren't.
I may have to edit this out of the video. I don't know. I'll talk to him, but the creator, I've talked to him a few times because before he was working on that, I knew him because he worked on a lot of Twilight Princess and other HD texture packs and stuff for the Dolphin emulator. But the last time that I talked to him, the ROM hack or whatever you're trying to call it, I don't really know what it is, if it would be like a brand new game since it is a full-on remake using the engine. But it right now he's keeping it like on the down low, but he's still working on it. He just doesn't want people to know about it until it's finished. That way he can avoid any attention from Nintendo.
Oh
so
wow,
we can at
okay.
least finish it before it's cast aside.
Yeah, but before the Nintendo ninjas make it to his door.
Dang. Yeah.
Alright, so moving on with your YouTube channel, when did you first notice that it was becoming quite successful? Because I asked a similar question to Andrew, if you know Yuri of Wind, who has, I believe now he's reaching 300,000 subscribers. He may have even passed it. And whenever I asked him, he kind of hesitated and was like, well, I guess you could call it successful. And I'm like, if anyone has 100,000 subscribers or more, you could definitely call that successful. So with you, like, how do you view your channel, and when, if at all, did you start thinking, wow, I can't believe this is happening?
Okay, well, I hate to like agree with Yuri of Wind, but I mean, I don't see it being successful. Like, successful is, you know, when you're. Well, the thing is, I guess it depends on how you look at it. For me, I'm very happy with what I have, and I mean, I definitely it's something. It's not nothing, so I do appreciate it. But I guess it's just, you know, you're constantly striving to be better. So I'm not necessarily content, but I'm just happy with like where I'm at. So like hopefully it improves. But I mean, I don't know. Like for me, I never saw myself being truly successful, though I am looking at it in the sense that I can take it super seriously and I have the time and you know, the equipment and everything. So I think when I had all of that and I was able to be like, wow, I can actually work on videos, I can get Breath of the Wild at midnight and record it all, I think that's when it hit me. I'm like, yeah, this is it. I'm doing YouTube. I'm taking it seriously like a job. I'm able to do what I want without something holding me back. That's what I see as like success, and I think that's what made me extremely happy with what I'm doing today.
Yeah.
So.
For me, like, success on a YouTube channel, you could look at it in many different ways. Like, there are YouTube channels that have hundreds of thousands of subscribers, but then maybe they only get like 10,000 views a day. So,
yeah,
you know, like, if you look at it with you could look at it in terms of subscribers, you could look at it in terms of daily views, or...
Well, there are YouTubers with millions of subs who get no views as well. It's like, YouTube, you can just kind of fall off over time. A lot of dead subscribers, even though YouTube say they remove inactive subs, let's be honest, there's a lot of people who have, I'm sure half of my subs are inactive at this point. Like, I've been doing YouTube for over 5 years. I doubt everyone who subscribed is still watching my videos today. So like, I think numbers is, like, it's relevant, but it's not something I would judge a channel by. I never look at my subs. Usually when I'm about to hit a milestone, then I realize my sub count, like, oh, sweet, I'm gonna hit it. Yeah. But like, I feel like that would hold me back if anything. Yeah, so like, yeah, that would hold you back. You don't want to look at numbers like something. Just keep doing what you think works and what people, like, you know, look at comments, take feedback, all of that, and hopefully it will work out. That's how I see it. Like, if you have something good, hopefully it gets acknowledged and someone out there appreciates it. That's just how I see it. I don't really look at views, because there are a bunch of YouTubers who are extremely good and even have like a small audience, but it's like successful in that own way. You know, they're happy doing what they're doing, they have a small audience appreciating it, and it works out for them. So, you know, you don't really need the crazy numbers, I feel like, to be successful.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was getting to with the different ways of that you could view a YouTube channel as successful. The way that personally I would see it is, if you're having fun with what you're doing and you're able to make a living off of it, you know, whether you're making enough to call it a part-time job, a full-time job, or whatever, I think that would be like the goal to reach if you're trying to make your YouTube channel successful.
Yeah, for sure. It's the hobby you're getting paid for. If you enjoy it, you're getting paid for it. That's always a win, you know?
Yeah.
So.
And in that way, with YouTube being a full-time job for you, has it changed your life in any meaningful way other than it just being a job? Like, if you go to conventions, or if you're walking down the street or something and a fan of your channel notices you, or someone on Twitter's like, hey, I just watched 15 of your videos, I did an all-night binge of your channel, like, has that stuff affected you in any meaningful way?
Yeah, no, of course, especially the first time, you know, you start getting stuff like that, you don't, like, it's hard to believe. You think it's, you know, people are just exaggerating, or, you know, stuff like that. But yeah, for me, it's like, I'm always appreciative, but like at the same time, you know, I can't let it get to my head, you know. So it's just like, I'm happy with what I have, and plus it's not really like something, I guess, to I guess if like you're a fan of YouTube and you watch YouTube videos, it's kind of normal to have someone come up to you and be like, oh, I see your videos, because I guess I'm just like that as a person. So I guess it depends on how you look at it. But yeah, I never really thought of it as anything too crazy, aside from just like, yeah, people binge watching my videos. That's something amazing, just to know that I can entertain someone for that long without them wanting to click off or anything. So
yeah, and it was a long time, or actually I don't really know how long it was, but a lot of your Let's Plays and stuff is just like the gameplay and your commentary. When was it that you like first started actually showing your face? Because I know a lot of popular people on YouTube aren't really interested in like showing their face. They don't want it to be about them or anything. They just want it to be like as much about the content as possible without putting their face out there.
Yeah, I feel like that was a thing back when Let's Plays were really getting known, and, you know, just a bunch of commentators were popular. Like, you know, I just feel like there was a phase where everyone knew each other for their voice and nothing else, so it was weird to show your face. For me, I, you know, never really wanted to follow that like trend or whatever, and like, you know, do a face reveal and make it like something special. I just started making update videos as soon as I've had a webcam and like was able to do it. I'll be honest, when I first started YouTube, I was like, you know, not wanting to give out my name, not wanting to show out my face, this and that, trying to stay private. But once I realized it doesn't really matter, and, you know, you can kind of just be yourself on the internet, I didn't really care. So I wasn't really afraid to show my face. It was just, once I got comfortable with what the internet was, I'm like, screw it, and started. Because I actually have update videos from, I want to say 3 years ago, but till today when I do a stream, you're like, oh my god, a face reveal. It's the first time I saw your face. I'm like, I've been doing this for years. I don't know how people And like it's funny because my icon and like all my branding has drawings of me, so I feel like people would assume I show my face because I'm showing people how I look in like a cartoon form. So
the avatars always look very similar. So.
Yeah, no, yeah. Shout out to Perdemonium. He's so good at it. I mean, at this point, he drew so many different pictures of me. I feel like he mastered it because I always like commissioned him for like awesome artwork. So yeah.
Yeah. And Daniel, do you have anything before I ask my final question to dear Luke?
Nah, you know what? Go ahead, man.
All right. Yeah, I was just gonna ask with your commentaries and everything, because it's you talking for like 15, 20, sometimes even up to an hour or longer.
2 hours.
Yeah, like with your Mario Odyssey, like it goes way past an hour.
Oh yeah, those are streams though.
Well, true.
But
yeah.
I've done a 2-hour actual YouTube video, like a Let's Play video. That was ridiculous.
Yeah. So with like putting your personality out there so much, a lot of Let's Players, they'll exaggerate or like over exaggerate and act to kind of make it a bit more entertaining. There's one person in particular, I won't say his name, but I was talking to him a while back, and he was talking about how whenever he does his Let's Plays, he absolutely hates it now because he built his channel around a kids game that used to be really popular. I guess it still is popular, and he would notice whenever he would over exaggerate or act like he was surprised when he wasn't. Like he would get more views, more comments and stuff, and he built an audience of like younger people. And whenever he would play a game and act serious like he would if he was traditionally playing a game, they would be like, oh, you're not playing the game right, this is fake, you're boring. And it's like, well, this isn't fake, this is how I actually play the game. It's the other videos that you like that are me pretending. Do you ever have that, or do you find it easy to just be yourself? Because you mentioned like going back and redoing some of your past Let's Plays, and I know personality changes over the course of 5 years.
Lot.
So like, how's it been for you, like putting yourself out there, and like, do you ever feel the need to try to spice it up, or is it always just you being yourself?
Well, I'll be honest, at first when I started YouTube, it was definitely like a mixture between myself, but mainly a personality, trying to like portray myself as, because I wasn't really confident when I started YouTube, so I wasn't comfortable to completely be myself. But as time went on, like, and that's why I like redoing and wanted to redo so many videos, is because when I listen back, I like cringe to my old videos. I'm like, this is not me. Why am I like being over the top? Because I actually used to be like that. I used to yell. I used to think that was, I guess, a way to captivate the audience, which to me it makes me want to just click off immediately. So
Yeah.
no, yeah, as time went on, I feel like this is the reason why hopefully I won't really feel the need to want to redo all of my older videos, is because I am just being myself now. There's really no difference in how I act, you know, away from the microphone and camera to how I am with just someone, you know, one-to-one in person or whatever. So that's kind of like how I treat it now. But yeah, I'll be honest, it is something you want to do, especially when you really don't know what you're going for with YouTube. And I know actually a lot of YouTubers, it's funny because I feel like it's kind of relatable to a lot of YouTubers I know who I'm close friends with, who are kind of over the top in their videos and hate, you know, turning on the mic and then being that fake personality or yelling or being over the top when they're just much different than that. But if you see my videos, you'd notice they're not like that at all. They're very calm, and I mean, I'm really into Zelda. Maybe I kind of overshow that, but I can't help it. That's literally how I am. I'm obsessed with Zelda. Like, I'll look at just the sunset and Breath of the Wild, I'm like, oh man, so beautiful. Like, I have to say that. I can't even help it. If anything, I annoy people with that. So, like,
Yeah.
if I could stop, I would.
No, like I think it's awesome when people are genuinely exciting and you can see their excitement, but I've like been in conversations with other people on YouTube where they're like, oh man, I need to redo that reaction video. I don't think it's good enough to put up. And it's like, the whole point of reaction videos, to like, you want to catch
It's a reaction,
like you in the
genuine
moment.
reaction,
You don't
yeah.
want to like act
Yeah.
in a reaction video just to get the views. But I mean, like, if if someone pushes themselves into a corner to where people are like if they present their personality and like that's their character online, then I can kind of see it. But like, I don't. It just gets to a weird line with me.
Well, I can understand being extremely excited online and like trying to, because you're doing a video, you're trying to entertain. You shouldn't be bummed out if you're bummed out. But in the sense of like being something else, that could be pretty stressful to always have to put on an act every time you do a YouTube video, especially when YouTube is taken as like it's who you are. It's not like a production type thing where you're acting or anything, so people think that's how you are. So it might end up just not working out. But like I don't know, like I said, I know YouTubers like that, but they're just trying to change their YouTube channels, and it's working for the better. So
and the example that I always use is like in Ocarina of Time, when you first get the sword and shield and you're making your way to the Deku Tree, that little path, that little narrow path that like takes 2 or 3 small turns before you get to the Deku Tree, there's the Deku Babas that pop up. And it's like someone will like get to one of them and be like, "Oh my god, did you see that Deku Baba? That was crazy." Or then once they get inside the Deku Tree and then you open up the first treasure chest, they're like, "Oh my god, what's in the chest?" And it's like, everybody knows like that the Deku Babas, they're gonna be there. That's the first time you're like actually being attacked in the game. But it's when people are pretending like that. But then when you see someone like playing Breath of the Wild for the first time and like they see one of the dragons flying in the sky and like their genuine reaction to it, or their reaction to like coming across like a really powerful weapon, is really, really awesome. Which is one of the reasons why I really liked your Breath of the Wild walkthrough or let's play, whatever you want to call it. Like
I played it. That was the second time, but I mean, my reactions were still over the top because I was way too into it. Think about it, it's the next Zelda game. It takes a while to process that.
Well, so. Like the moment that stands out, which I didn't watch all of the videos, but it was whenever you like you were trying to light all of the torches and you didn't know you could jump over the creek or whatever with the Epona or the horse while you had the candle. And then like you just had a little mini freak out there. Like that was a genuinely awesome moment because you're seeing a fan get excited over something that is awesome. So I get what you mean. And actually now that I think back to it, there was a lot of stuff I missed out in that first playthrough because I think the game was too new for me to know everything. Like I messed up a lot. I didn't even know how to like fight guardians in like the first couple videos. I was always running away from them. Now when I see one, I run towards them. So that's the crazy thing about Breath of the Wild too, is like when you first play it, you're just like kind of sneaking around trying to like...
Yeah, it has a huge learning curve. Well, not huge, but like it's bigger than any other Zelda game, which is awesome. And it feels like, once you get good at it, you can feel the difference from first starting. Unlike other Zelda games where it's just mashing the B button and you're good.
All right.
Or a Skyward Sword wiggling the Wiimote.
So, Luke, I apologize. I may have lied to you. I said that was my final question, but I have one more. Because I've throughout my short compared to your YouTube career, if you want to call it that, I don't know. There's been a lot of my favorite YouTubers or personalities on YouTube, content creators, whatever you want to call them, that I've been lucky enough to either meet or hang out with, talk to, be in videos with. So with yourself, well, first, like with me, obviously, you, some of the other members of the Chamber of Sages, HMK, Vortexy Gaming when she was still doing videos, McIntyre Productions, Commonwealth Realm, all of those people, some of them like started from nothing, and now like Dr. Wiley, when we first met him, he didn't have that many subscribers. Now he's like way past 100. So like people have been really successful. But like Greg Miller, Michael Cthulhu, Yuri of Wind, there's a lot of people that I've been fortunate enough to meet and hang out with and stuff. So for you, when you first started YouTube, were there other content creators or YouTubers that were your favorite people that you would have never imagined that you would get the opportunity to hang out with or become friends with that you have?
I guess I wouldn't say like ones that I've watched. It's just ones that I've known of, which pretty much are a majority of my roommates slash like really close friends. Because funny enough, pretty much all my really close friends are YouTubers, and we met through YouTube, and we hang out in person a lot. Yeah, it all started with all of us just being like 15 years old or like really young in high school, just talking. And you never think it would, like usually with your high school friends, by the time you go to college, you forget most of them. But like with YouTube, you kind of think the same thing, you know, we're online friends, we're doing videos online, you know, I'm probably never gonna meet this person, but it comes out, you know, like the first time I moved out, I was actually living with one of my roommates who I met through YouTube, which is actually Munching Orange, and that's pretty much how I started, like kind of just like living on my own. It was through meeting someone through making YouTube videos. So I think that's really like the coolest thing that could have happened throughout YouTube. I actually made real, genuine, close friends that I feel like I'm gonna know for the rest of my life just from making YouTube videos and wanting to like collab or talk over Skype or whatever it was I used to do back when I was in high school, just, you know, trying to do something online.
Yeah. And are there any like super famous YouTube channels that you would like the opportunity to collaborate with one day?
I'm trying to think. I guess not really, because like I'm more of a like I'll be a fan of a YouTuber. I wouldn't really want to like do videos with them. Like I'm just kind of happy doing my own thing, you know, whatever comes to mind, I'll just do it. But like there isn't a YouTuber I really want to make videos with. But I would say if I just like to name out my favorite YouTuber, at least to like at least answer somewhat of the question, I would say like one of my favorite YouTubers, at least like gaming YouTuber, would have to be Angry Joe Show. He's actually one of my favorite YouTubers because his reviews are hilarious and like super genuine. I feel like he just really cares about like all of gaming as a whole and like what the companies do. Like actually there's this huge thing with EA. I was like kind of following it, and I was just pretty much it was just awesome to see like someone so passionate about like wanting to stop something like microtransactions in a game, which actually worked out. If for those who don't know, I think EA removed it from Battlefront 2, and I thought that was freaking hilarious.
Yeah, that was going to be one of our news stories. Really quick, if you want to give your quick thoughts on that, like, because that was a whole debacle with like there's a bunch of games that came out around the same time that were filled with loot crates, and then everyone
like
complained.
Even Assassin's Creed, right?
Yeah.
I was considering on getting that. Then I heard that. I'm like, you know what? I'm good. I don't need it.
Yeah.
So no, for me, I really dislike that in AAA, especially when it's a game that's $60 that has DLC, so it's $80 or $90, and it's like on top of that they want little microtransactions, and it's like for me it's too much. Like I don't mind games like let's say League of Legends where it's a free-to-play game and it has skins and stuff that you can buy, but that doesn't really affect the gameplay experience. Or even Overwatch, the loot boxes are all cosmetic, you don't need them. But when it comes to a game, you paid $60 for a full experience, and they're trying to do that. I think that's like the worst thing, and I don't really want to support any game like that, to be honest.
Well, I'm not a fan
at all. But yeah,
part of the rumor of why, if you heard about the single-player Star Wars game that got canceled, one of the rumors is it was actually canceled so EA could create like a Destiny style game that would be better suited for microtransactions, because you can't really put microtransactions in a single player story driven game. So the game got canceled completely just so they could recreate a game that could have more microtransactions. And then when Battlefront 2 came out, which was their other Star Wars games, it had such bad loot boxes and perks and stuff that people just went absolutely crazy, and they ended up just like, I think the news said that like Disney called EA and just like gave it to them hard about like why did the game end up like this, why was the reaction so negative, because they ended up with like the most downvoted Reddit post ever.
Oh yeah.
And it was supposed to be their apology. So their apology got downvoted so bad. It was
Yeah, their biggest issue is they keep saying it's like, this is what the fans wanted. And the fans are literally complaining. It's like, how can you say that? No one wants to pay more money in a game or like have to play hundreds of hours to unlock something just because it's under a paywall that you can get easy. Like, that's just taking away from the game. And I feel like no matter what, if it's a single player game or even if it's a multiplayer game, but you're paying the $60 for it, there shouldn't be microtransactions, because that just ruins the game. It's going to ruin the balancing of what kind of rewards you get. If someone pays, like, what's the difference between playing an hour, you know? So they're going to add so much more playtime. I think it's unfair. Like, yeah, I'm not a fan of it. Maybe mobile games or free to play games, like if they made Battlefront free to play from the beginning, sure, I don't think that would be an issue, right?
Yeah.
But it's not. So
it would be like the situation that I always think of is like, imagine you're just really skilled, like you're actually awesome at this game, but then someone who sucks just happens to buy a gun or a character that is really powerful and just destroys you.
yeah, no, exactly. That's what ruins the balancing. That's why I hate games like that, for
Yeah.
that exact reason.
The videos on this channel are funded by supporters on Patreon like you. If you're a fan of this channel and would like to join on videos, receive shoutouts, watch videos early, have your questions answered, or have your topic discussed on our podcast, please consider supporting on Patreon for these and many other rewards for just $1. Shoutouts for this video includes Link Use the Triforce, Rusty Caulfield, Lovable Christie, Give Time 15, Shadow to Us, Robbie Morgan, and Lunarium. I want to thank all of you for everything you have done to help support this channel.